running up that baseline and still keeping him in the batter's box.
And now a little issue, I guess, Walcott with Derek Shelton. And now Shelton's into it with the third base umpire, the crew chief, Adrian Johnson.
Yeah, something with the pitch clock. I think he thought that there was a violation.
So Derek Shelton and Walcott had a little exchange last night. And then Adrian Johnson, the crew chief, and now we're getting
Derek Shelton
complicated conversation going on now.
He's got something for everybody.
Well, last night it was Adrian Johnson and Derek Shelton, you know, with the Hedges situation.
Which, you know what, the report was after the game that Adrian Johnson and the crew told Derek Shelton and Austin Hedges that they missed one. That they should have called that on Ryan Thompson.
It's interesting. McClanahan talking with Hedges in front of the plate while the argument was taking place.
I can't figure out why Adrian Gonzalez even got involved, why he was the one to throw him out.
And now Don Kelly getting it from the home plate umpire. Short fuses.
I think.
Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Strikeout number 6 for J.P. Sears. Oh no, what do we got here? Can't afford to get him thrown out of the game. Good job by Gino to walk him away. Scott Service coming over.
Well, it appeared that Jared just walking back to the dugout. The umpire must have said something to him.
All right, so he's walking away.
He's frustrated.
Yeah, it looked like the umpire said something. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
So I think he must have gotten tossed right away, and that's why Jared was so upset.
And here's Randy again, and he's hit by that pitch. And out in front, the plate umpire, Dan Mersel, purposely moving from behind the plate, knowing that Rosarena is not happy.
You'd like to give Brito the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, look out. Rosarena's hit for the second time, and he's really not happy about that, and the Rays will not be either. Mersel walking the Rosarena up that first base line as he gets rid of the bat, and the umpires are going to come together here as Randy, after he hit the home run in the first, hit by a pitch in the third and hit again here in the fifth. Well, we have seen bad blood through the years between these two teams, and Kyle Snyder not pleased.
Well, and here's the thing, both hit by pitch, the first pitch.
Yep.
First hit pitch of the AB. And so, you know what, you see if the Rays, I mean, Kyle Snyder would like to get a piece of the Yankee dugout.
No, I think they just warned him. I saw him walk down off the mound, but they warned him. And I think Kevin Cash wants more than that.
Either that or that hamstrings the Rays.
Yeah. So they just warned Abreu with that hand motion. And now Cash apparently has been ejected.
They ejected the wrong guy.
Yes, they did. If they ejected Cash
for that,
that's Lance Barksdale. They've really ejected the wrong guy. I mean, I don't know what could be more blatant. So Cash has been ejected by Lance Barksdale. Well, it has started in game one. The Yankees throwing at Rosarena and hitting him twice. They get off with a warning, and the Rays manager is ejected.
Two-run home run from Kyle Tucker has changed this game. The Astros now lead it in the top of the 9th inning. We'll step aside. We've got a pitching change. And the sequence to Tucker that kept the at-bat alive, and now it is boiling over out by home plate as that was on the edge. Truly seconds ago, Scott Service, after making the pitching change, letting Shane Livensparger know about that missed call. And he got the heave-ho.
Then he gets his money's worth after that. And I don't blame him for being upset at all.
Carson Vitale coming out to escort the skipper. So Scott has been ejected from this game.
Here we go.
Did he just throw all the way out twice?
Well, Ollie's let him know. He's been ejected. Joe McEwing apparently has been ejected.
I think Joe got thrown out first. Rightfully so, though.
Second time Ollie's been tossed this season.
At speed. Toronto knows I've got to get rid of it if I'm going to have any shot. 2-2 to Rooker. And home plate umpire Paul Hamill says he went around Rooker. I think he would like what Dallas Braden likes. Maybe check down to base umpire. Paul Hamill. Did he throw out Rooker? Yep. Well, and you can see Laureano kind of step in between Rooker and Paul Hamill. Rooker was on his way back to the dugout and said whatever he said that caught the ear of Paul Hamill, and that was all Paul Hamill needed to hear, whether he was being spoken to or just about. Brooks just asking, hey, can you check? You can't even check? Nothing? Well, that's not going to sit well with a big leaguer.
Back foot slider. He stopped the swing in time. 1-2. With Wendell stuff, the third base umpire. And he just threw somebody out of the Rockies dugout. Wendelstedt was getting heat from over the railing after not calling that check swing a strike.
So good. 4 groundouts, I should say. There was a force play. Oh, and 1 to Naylor. Miranda can't get the ball out of his glove. Now there's nobody at third base. Now safe at third. Did he run out of the baseline? A weird play. Miranda going to his left, and then he couldn't get the ball out of the glove. Alertly, Ramirez scampered to third, but what was his route? Not even sure it's a reviewable play.
It's a very odd play, as you said, Dick.
And I think that's what Rocco's coming out to talk with Dan Iasani about. Clearly he went out of the base path. You could see, and you can still see his footprints in the dirt. Rocco's really agitated, and I don't blame him. To evade the tag, Ramirez ran way out of his pathway from second to third. But again, I don't believe it's a reviewable play, and Rocco's been tossed. A run scores, still nobody out. There have been a lot of weird plays, Miranda in the nucleus of a lot of them. And I don't understand why Ramirez was not called out for running out of the base path.
But if you're going to throw him out, stop talking to him. If you're going to throw him out, don't talk to him anymore.
Pete Mackey will come to the mound or talk to the home plate umpire and will come to the mound. And I mean, Ayesanya was standing right there, and you could see Ramirez veer away. And I don't know if the umpire, in the umpire's defense, he's saying, well, he was still able to reach the bag, but I'm kind of siding with Rocco on this one. I think there should have been an out call.
Adames does have 2 stolen bases on the year.
And another throw that way. It's safe is the call. And now we are calling a balk on Cobb. And now Jeremy Riggs is stopping. So remember the first play of the sequence when Cobb stepped off and then Joey Bart went out to go talk. The home plate umpire initially had said that's a disengagement. He had just picked over yet again. That was 2 technically. So that pick over should have been number 3.
That's the 3, and if you don't get him, it's a balk, and Adames gets second base.
Craig Counsell saw the same thing, and now Craig is getting fired up at the crew chief Chris Guccione, and Craig Counsell just got ejected.
As far as he can go.
And that's strike 3 call. Here's the last pitch to Brandon Belt, which he did not agree with. I think it was kind of an accumulation of pitches. All 3 strikes were called strikes. All 3 were what I would say is borderline. 1 maybe a little outside, 2 maybe a little bit low, and obviously Belt heading off the field said something that drew the ire of Carlos Torres, and Belt got tossed out of the game. Fortunately for the Blue Jays, Belt's the DH, not the first baseman, so they just lose their DH right now here in the 8th inning.
And I mean, you're going to bark about calls after strikeout. I think you're right, Dan. The previous 2 were kind of borderline as well, but I'm not sure he did a whole lot to get ejected from a ball game. I would think Carlos Torres could have just turned his head there and let Brandon go about his way.
First 7th inning brought to you by IDOT Roadway Safety. It's not a game. Basketball standout Amir Garrett. 1 and strike 3 call, just clipped the corner. Good pitch.
That was a good pitch. It was a backdoor slider. And something is wrong with Garrett.
Yeah, he's down behind the mound. Amir Garrett is down on a knee behind the mound.
And there's a little argument between Manny Gonzalez and Pedro Grifol. I think Manny might have thrown somebody out of the game.
Yeah, it might have been Pedro Grifol. We'll check and see. Amir Garrett is down behind the mound.
And at this point, nothing looks untoward, and then he just drops to an E.
Amir Garrett, you know, he just sort of, oh boy, oh my.
Well, honestly, the best case scenario would be if it's just an upset stomach.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things it could be, and that would be.
He's up there with 2 on and 2 out. Gallen having to work here in the 6th inning.
On the corner, ring him up and sit him down. And Segura's been ejected. Mark Rippiger runs him. As Gallen gets strikeout number 6 and strands 2. Segura is gone, and so are the Marlins in the 6th. We are still tied at 1.
There goes the runner.
That was a hit and run.
Hit and run. And it looks like both runners will be safe. So Francisco Lindor arguing that Will Myers interfered, that ball hit Will Myers. Malachi Moore, the second base umpire, says nope. Hand was up.
Yeah, but that wasn't intentional. How in the heck was contact made? That was not intentional. So I don't think, I think Buck's going to lose this argument. Oh, maybe not.
but definitely intentional.
If you can, a Buck's got a gripe.
He definitely reached into the glove,
which is a pretty savvy play.
If it works.
Oh, definitely. Wow.
So I'm not sure that's reviewable.
I don't think it is.
Because interference and obstruction is not reviewable. That's not a reviewable play type.
That might even have hit his hand before it hit Lindor's glove.
I think it did.
This is an unusual play here. I mean,
if they do call him out for interference at second, I don't think it's a double play automatically.
And Buck Showalter gets tossed.
So that means they're not going to change they're not going to change their ruling. This is Buck's first ejection.
Now, we thought it might happen on Sunday. He got really upset on Sunday as well, and this probably it's a long time coming for Buck as the frustration boils over.
This is one of those moments that you think might fire up a team. He should get tossed here because that was interference. He's standing up for his guys, and he's letting them know. There's 4 of you. You all 4 missed it.
Yes. Oh.
And this could fire your team up when your manager has your back like that. This could be one of those moments. Should be one of those moments.
And it fires up the Mets fans that are here, who give Buck a standing ovation as he exits into the dugout and exits the game.
Staying in the game is Michael A. Taylor in center. And the home plate umpire, they have just ejected Bob Melvin. Melvin had been
told him you need to bear down on each pitch right there, and that was terrible.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Buck takes one at the top of the zone for a strike. Mark Wegner, the crew chief, behind home plate. That was quick. Brian Snitker.
Games in the Miami series. Didn't go that time either, didn't offer. And it's 3-1. Alfonso Marquez. The appeal to first base from DeJesus said no. Christian Walker can't believe it. Here comes Jeff Bannister for an explanation. I think Alfonso Marquez overruled the no swing call at first. Christian may have been ejected. He was barking, you'll recall, after his last at bat and walking away from Alfonso Marquez.
Somebody should have grabbed Christian. You can't let him walk up there right now. Let Jeff Bannister handle this.
Walker struck out in the bottom of the 5th inning and spent the entire walk back to the dugout barking at Marquez, and now looks like he's been tossed from the ball game. Jeff Bannister, the acting manager for the Diamondbacks today. Torey Lovullo's son Connor graduating from NAU, so Torey is not here tonight. And Banny, the bench coach, has had to step in. His first baseman has just been ejected from the dugout. A little bit high. Oh!
And Hosmer has been ejected. Take a look at it one more time at strike 3 here on Hosmer. And then as the home plate umpires had a pretty big zone tonight. That one did flip the top of the zone. Split finger pitch with some frustration bubbling up. And for the first time this year, a Cub has been ejected. 2, as a matter of fact, as Hosmer goes, and then David Ross behind him.
And Profar makes the catch.
So the inning is over. Oh, now we got some trouble going. Bryce Harper's got to have to be held back. Jake Bird started saying something. Harper's not happy about it. He's pushing Diaz. Watch the elbow.
Right at the top step of the Rockies dugout, shouting, and many of them coaches wearing the hooded warm-up tops. Now the bullpens have emptied. Harper was red hot coming out of that bullpen, or dugout rather.
Well, Mother's Day action.
Strike three call, the pitch that was up out of the box. 7 strikeouts for Freeland. Schwarber is not pleased about that. Rob has just been thrown out of this game. He was heated by from the time he stepped out of the dugout.
Can't blame him. I mean, that's an important at bat there.
Of course it is. Top of the 6th inning, runner in scoring position. It would have put 2 on for JT.
See you later.
And now Malinsky throws out somebody from the Yankee dugout.
Let's get out of here.
Looked like Boone was barking at him, but I don't know who got thrown out.
Toss there by Bellino, and that's when Kotsay decided, as much we were discussing the pitch that Osterbrook did not get, then it got closer, got heated.
Talk about one pitch, depending on what count we're talking about, but that's how big of a difference one pitch can make.
One and two.
You're 35 years old. With that resume that you read, you are not going to be scared. And all of a sudden, this has been building up.
He's saying the ball is that low and you're calling it a strike. He certainly let him have his say.
He got his money's worth.
And the crew chief, James Hoy, is trying to walk him back. Fires the gum.
Check the swing. Did he go? No swing. You've been watching his at-bats over the last week. Got some line drive outs. He just seems to not be getting fooled as much. Hayes may have got a break on that one. Oh. Yeah, Lovullo got tossed, huh? So Torey Lovullo kicked out of the game. He's hot. Rockbother, the first base umpire.
Said, I can't believe you. I left out the fudge sickles and you didn't put them back.
It did appear on replay that he had a gripe, right?
Well, you can understand it, but this is the problem here, right? Brock Ballou says, no, stay there. All right, fine.
He warned him.
Well, they have just thrown Domingo Germán out of the game. They checked his hand. All 4 umpires now talking with Aaron Boone. And Germán, who's been perfect through 3, was just thrown out of the game for obviously something on his hand that they did not think was allowable. When he was coming out of the dugout, he was stopped by an umpire to check going into the game. Usually it's going out of the game. And they checked. All 4 umpires came and checked. And they ended up throwing him out.
Called him out on strikes. Marcano just got tossed after the game had ended, and now
Didn't like it. Oh well, 4th shutout of the year for the Tigers.
he might be looking at a suspension after that.
It takes some adjustment to stay back and whack it.
On the outside corner, second time that he's rung up Eric Haas looking 2 away. And Haas is arguing right now with Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire. A.J. Hinch has to intervene quickly. And then A.J. Hinch gets tossed.
Get your money worth now.
He will.
Maybe they got some thinkers, keep him in there.
But you just hope that guys are still allowed to have some debate with the umpires. I don't think the umpires minded. Oh no, good boy.
He got into it with home plate umpire Dan. He didn't get into it. He just lost his mind for some reason.
And Pedro just comes out and he threw somebody out. Dan threw somebody out. I think he threw Sheets out. If you look at his strike zone for the series, he is the one guy who has gotten really some bad calls against him.
Moments ago, Clark Schmidt, starter for the Yankees, surrounded by the umpiring crew, physically examining his glove and hands. It appears that Schmidt was just sent back down into the depths of the dugout, presumably to go clean his hands. And now David Bell wants explanation, and I would think he's going to ask, hey, how do you allow him to stay in? This has happened in other games this year.
That is exactly what he's asking, John. It was told, and you saw Brian Honora pointing towards the wrist area of the starting pitcher Schmidt. They found something they didn't like, and he went back in. They made him wash it off. He came back out. They checked it, and now whatever substance is gone. But David Bell's issue is, hey, listen, if it's something that he needs to wash off, then it's a violation. And it heated up, and there he goes.
A little confusion there. Stallings in the home plate umpire Marvin Hudson.
Well, it looked like he was going to call a violation.
And now Skip Schumacher trying to get a little understanding, and Hudson's going to call the umpiring crew in.
But watch him. He's got a hand up, though. He's got his hand up.
Oh, now they're getting heated. Now Stallings is saying, I didn't call time, you did.
He did.
Jacob Stallings has just been tossed, and I believe Skip got tossed too. But there is a lot of confusion going on here.
It's Jesse Winker and now the home plate umpire getting into it. So Thompson's not even on the rubber, so how can you even start the clock at that point? And they have given a strike to Jesse Winker, but the pitcher is not even in a position to deliver a pitch or do anything. That seems like just terrible feel from the home plate umpire.
Yeah, if anything, it should be a ball.
And Winker takes a called third strike. And I bet Jesse Winker's going to have some words from Adam Hammery right here. And he has been asked to leave this game, and you could pretty much count on that happening. Jesse Winker very calmly talking to Adam Hammery right now, but that was a pretty quick eject button.
As this one sliced down the right field line, long run for Jake Bauers, nearing the line, and he's able. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it. It's a foul ball. He went sliding. The ball's loose. First base umpire called it foul. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my.
He makes contact with that ball. Looks like in fair territory.
He sure did.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. 1 run scores, the batter runner, second base.
So after
Cincinnati
the review,
retains its challenge.
it's an RBI double for Spencer Steer and an upset Aaron Boone.
Yeah, and I think what he's saying is the ball was dead. How are we supposed to figure out basically if the run scored once the umpire put his hands up?
And Aaron Boone's just got tossed. That didn't take long. This is Aaron Boone's first trip back to Cincinnati as the manager of the New York Yankees, a place he holds near and dear to his heart, and his day is over early.
Oh, he wants some more.
Well, you can understand from a Yankee perspective is that the mistake that was made on the play was by the umpire. That's right. And he's feeling that his team's being penalized for the umpire making a mistake.
But he's a guy that's going to manipulate you with that off speed.
Luke Maile, I don't think he was ready for that. And David Bell pops out of the dugout and has a few words for Emil Jimenez, and that'll be the end of the day for David Bell. So neither manager will make it through this one.
So Wandy Peralta, and I think what David is talking about is that it looked like it might have been a quick pitch.
Wandy is also known for that too. Before the rule changes, he would get it and go. And I think he's upset because he's still waggling the bat in the box before he can get set. You got to catch eyes. Both of them have to catch eyes with each other, the hitter and the batter at the same time.
And David Bell, who's getting his money's worth. Third time he's been ejected this season. Second time in this series.
And I think this also stems from the other day with Clark Schmidt with the sticky stuff on his opposite hand. He is getting his money's worth. He's letting them know.
He started out relatively calm, and then it progressed. And so Bell is done for the day.
Yeah, I think that's the point of contention right there. You can see Luke Maile
His reaction is like, come on, dude, let me get set.
And I think it's ball 1, too, as well that we're not seeing there.
Width was perfect to get
that one gets him.
Yeah.
And Max's argument is probably that's similar height to the previous one.
And now Muncy is charging toward the third base umpire. Dave Roberts is joining him. I wonder if Muncy's arguing that that ball wasn't tipped for strike 2. Don't know if he's been ejected. That shot answers our question. Max Muncy was ejected after his 4th inning at bat, so Chris Taylor will take over for LA. Things got exciting in between innings here. Nolan Arenado, after hitting into the double play, was walking to the Cardinals dugout, wasn't looking at Will Little, and he got run. Oliver Marmol came in to argue the strike zone. He got thrown out by Will Little here in the 3rd.
Well, I'll tell you what, Will Little needs to tuck the ears in a little bit. You're going to get that personal about a guy who's walking off, not eye contact, not showing you up between innings. And he had a couple of calls on Arenado. All he's telling him, look, it can't be down here under the zone and up here as well.
Well, while we were away, Aaron Boone has been thrown out of the game. He was just in the face of the home plate umpire, Edwin Moscoso. He keeps saying he's missed 4 calls. Now he's talking to the crew chief, Chris Guccione, who had to separate him from Moscoso. They were nose to nose, and now he's going back for more. He's already been thrown out.
Well, standing ovation for Aaron Boone. We knew that one of these managers was going.
It's early.
It's early.
And that plate is wide. 1-1 to count.
It's 1999, TK. When Greg Maddux is on the mound.
Yeah, this is a... Now Jerry Lane is getting...
He came out from behind home plate.
He doesn't have to do that.
No.
And somebody gets tossed.
He's had enough.
He's not had a good game, and he decided to get proactive in talking to Jeremy Pena. Umpires...
No, the umpire doesn't need to go to the player. That's where the manager needs to come out and get in between the situation and help the umpire understand that this is not your job to get into the player's face. Players are going to be upset. That's part of the gig. But going after Jeremy Pena, and for a veteran umpire like Jerry Lane, who I respect greatly over the years, that's uncharacteristic. But there's also a way to keep that from happening. Call the zone.
Murphy leading things off in the bottom of the 6th, the 1-1. Check swing. They appeal, and C.B. Buckner says that he goes around, and Tom Murphy is not happy. And the count goes to 1-2, and now the home plate umpire is standing in between Murphy and Buckner is making a slow walk towards home plate. What is happening here? Did somebody get tossed? Here comes Scott Service. Did C.B. Buckner toss? He threw him out of the game. Buckner ejected Murphy, and now Scott Service. He just got run by the home plate umpire, Brian Walsh.
He has a word or two for Jordan Baker, and Jordan Baker throws him out of the game. Now, you figured he was going to be upset with what was ultimately ball 4 to the first batter.
The pitch to Tatis. That's the one he's talking about right there.